you?
I'm fine. Good to see you this evening.
Good. You too. You too.
Sydney, your makeshift kickstand's not working here, but I'll manage.
I tried. I do the best I can. I'm hand holding mine at a non-flattering angle.
Love you.
So. All right. So, Bill,
we ready to go, Cindy?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are live on YouTube. You're good to go.
I don't have a picture, but that's okay. I now call this meeting of the Hendersonville Municipal Board of Zoning Appeals to order. This is Monday, August the 3rd, 2020, and it's 6:02. Roll call. Bill McDonald, Ward 5.
Paul Guthrie, Ward 1.
Ty J, Ward 3.
Don Ames, Ward 4.
Pat Campbell, Alderman Liaison, Ward 2.
Okay. Do we do public hearing when we don't have anybody here? Do we skip public hearing, Sydney?
You can just say no one signed up to speak and it's closed.
Okay, public hearing is closed then. The minutes of the last meeting, do I hear a motion to approve?
Move to
Ty
approve.
J, aye.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Ty J, yes.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ty J says aye.
Okay, minutes passed in. Old business? None. New business? Cindy, what is this first appeals case for?
Okay, sure. This is appeal case 0820-1N. It's a request by Curtis Wackler for a conditional use permit to operate a major home occupation at his residence at 140 Curtis Crossroads for a part-time hair salon. Curtis, if you would like to speak to the nature of your request, and then you are free to do so now.
Alrighty. Hey everybody, Curtis Wackler here. So basically what I'm doing is 3 days a week, Monday through Wednesday, just to be working from home a little closer to my family since my son's doing homeschool now. I'm basically only appointment based, so there'll be 1 to 2 max people here at all times, and I've got plenty of parking in the back of my house and separate entrance as well.
Okay. Do we have any questions for him? The board?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. Will you have any employees on this deal?
No, it'll be me.
Okay.
Solo.
Okay. Thoughts to the board. I was just reading through this, and based on that question, and obviously looking at parking, you can't be on the street, but I thought, well, maybe this is as easy as the last one we did a couple months ago, and do the same type of conditional type thing with no employees and all that stuff. I'm open to thoughts.
Well, one of the things we did at the last one was to only approve it for the period of time that the current resident lives in his home. Should the home change ownership, that this would be null and void then.
Yes, true.
So I would ask that to be part of the motion if we do.
Okay.
Any other questions for the applicant? Any other questions for the applicant? Okay,
I'm
thank
sorry,
you, Curtis.
I couldn't hear him. I'm sorry, Bill. Is that you talking?
Yeah, I said, thank you, Curtis. Where's that?
Thank you, sir.
Anyway. Thank you, Curtis.
Well,
Anyway, do I-
since no one say anything, I would move to approve this appeal with the condition of the ownership as mentioned before.
Yes, so I second for the discussion.
Okay, any discussion?
I have discussion. May I speak?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, just to be clear that the
Yes.
other one we did a few weeks ago for all involved on this call, that was this conditional use goes away at the end of the ownership of Curtis, and also no employees to be put in the condition to cut down on the number of cars in the parking area. So instead of having 4 cars potential, we only have 2 for the customers. And also reading through the documentation and looking at the Google Earth and stuff, that this particular location, because the street is a main street and there's no side parking on there per se, that we'd ask that the parking be in the driveway. And the homeowner spoke that he's got ample parking in the driveway.
Okay,
Is
I
that-
think that's all in the
Is that
motion,
everybody?
right,
Is
Don?
that everybody's understand? Okay, I just want to be because I just wanted to be clear for I guess for myself and for everybody that, hey, this is what I'm voting for. Okay, I'm done.
Okay,
Okay, so
Okay.
the official motion is that you approve with no employees. And after Curtis is no longer the resident at that location, and then the parking is limited to the driveway only. So that is the motion that's going to be voted on.
Sounds correct.
Okay,
all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Well, on Zoom, don't we have to say our names and call out and stuff?
yes, thank you. Yes, you're correct. So we'll do a roll call vote. Ames,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Guthrie, Paul,
Yes.
and McDonald.
Yes.
Okay. That is a unanimous yes. So Mr. Wackler, you have got your conditional use granted, and you are now free to leave the meeting if you so choose.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
You have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Cindy, what's the next one?
The next one is Appeal Case 0820-2M. It's a request by Los Design for a variance of the building height requirements from 35 feet to 40 feet at Volunteer Park at Arrowhead off of Drakes Creek Road for the support of a dome inline honky rink. That's a mouthful.
Okay. Okay. The applicant, I don't know who it is Andy? Or who's the
It's going to
applicant?
be John, but Andy can also speak to it if he would
John
like to.
Sexton?
Yes.
Okay.
Andy, do you want me to go ahead and speak, sir, or do you want to kind of introduce?
I'll just introduce John to you guys. This is a project that Lowe's and Associates is working on behalf of the Parks Department. So that even though they're the applicant, this is a city project, but there's a couple things that John will explain why we're here tonight for you all to help us with.
All right. Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's healthy and safe right now. Thanks for having me on. As Andy had mentioned, the structure is going to be located at Volunteer Park on one of the soccer fields. It's essentially a hipped roof membrane structure that we are going to put over these two inline rinks to protect it from inclement weather and to provide more playing time for the residents and outside residents to use. Essentially what we're doing is we're going to have this structure that's 5 foot over the allowed height requirement. The allowed is 35 feet. We're asking for 40. The reason why we're doing that simply is two items. The first one is to allow proper airflow through this structure and underneath the structure to cool off those, just to make sure that there's no condensation that builds up. So that hip roof is a little bit higher than requested, but it is for proper airflow. We will have fans that will be located under the structure to help kind of alleviate condensation and to keep that area cool. The second reason is for ambient lighting. It is going to be a little bit taller, above that 35 foot. And the reason for that is we're trying to allow as much ambient light underneath this facility to reduce the usage of lights. Now, there will be lights in addition to what I'm explaining. The height that it is now, it's going to allow for a proper spread of lighting across those rinks too. So those are the three main items: for airflow, for proper lighting distribution across the rinks, and for ambient light underneath that structure.
I have a question,
Okay.
sir.
Anyone
Having read-
have a question? Yes, sir.
I've read the information and listened to John, and I think it's very clear that I would like to move to approve this appeal case number 8020-2M.
Well, you come back in just a minute. There's some discussion yet.
Well,
Okay.
discussion,
We're talking to the
discussion-
applicant right now.
discussion would typically come after a motion and a second.
That is correct, yes.
We're asking questions to the applicant right now, if anybody has one. Okay? John,
Sir.
what type wind strength is on this?
I don't have that right in front of me, but I know that we are doing oversized footers to make sure that this membrane structure does not fly away and hurricane in tornado strength winds, sir. I can get
Okay.
back to you on that for sure.
Okay. Who made the motion a while ago? Was that you, Ty, or Don?
Don?
Don,
Yes.
would you repeat that motion again now?
I move to approve appeal case 0820-2M.
I second for the discussion.
You want to approve the variance on it, right? You want to approve the variance.
That's what the appeal is for, yes.
Yes, okay. Now, is there any question?
I have questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is for Sydney.
Oh.
Oh, good.
So Sydney, why do we have the current rule in place for 35 feet? What's the backstory on that?
Okay, so basically, this is a residential zone. And so typically, we would look at the 35 feet for homes. That's a 3-story home, sometimes 3.5. And above and beyond that is a little bit of a special case. So this is a little bit different, but it's a residential zoned property, but kind of a commercial use. And the other thing here is that if you look at your diagram, the height is measured at the average of where the eaves are. So the height of the structure is actually going to be about 60 feet. But the way we calculate the height, it's really just a 5-foot variance that they're asking for here. So to give you a little bit of that backstory, is if it were in a commercial zone, it probably wouldn't be an issue, but because it's just residentially zoned, they don't typically consider park structures when they're setting their standards for height and size and all the things. So we thought we would clean this up and go through the proper channel for approval, which is the board.
Okay, and based on the beginning of the meeting, there was no public hearing discussion, meaning you sent out the notices and nobody replied to them, nobody replied email or anything?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you for your time.
Are we ready for the question? Sydney, you want to do the roll call?
Sure. All right. Ames,
Yes.
I can do
Jay?
it.
Yes,
Guthrie? Paul Guthrie?
Believe he's on anymore.
Yes.
Oh, there he is.
Yes, okay. And
Yeah, he's
McDonald?
on. Yes,
Okay,
the variance has been granted for you all, Mr. Sexton and Andy.
Thank
Okay.
you all. Thank you all very much for your time.
very
Thank
good.
you.
This will move on to the planning commission tomorrow evening.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, Sydney.
thank you.
Do I need to stay on or can I get off?
No, you are free to go.
All right. Thank you all for everything.
Thank you.
Stay
Have a good
safe.
you.
evening.
Any other business? Sydney, you want to say anything about the September meeting?
We will have one. I don't know yet. It kind of depends on the governor as to whether we do it by Zoom or have it in person. We do have, I think, 4 applications so far that I know of. And of course, I'm going to try to, because it's the 14th at 6 o'clock, I'm going to try to give as much time for anybody that wants to jump in there. So hopefully we might avoid having an October meeting, but I can't promise that. But I'm
day
going
are
to
we
try to
looking to
get as
do that?
many on there. Do what?
What day are we looking to do that one on, Sydney? The 14th?
That is, yes, correct. That's Monday, the 14th.
All right, thank you.
Certainly.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second,
Second? All in favor, say aye.
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 hi, Jeff. Hi.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Guthrie.
Campbell?
how's your mother doing?
Oh, she's doing really good, sir.
How's your mother doing?